Hey everybody, welcome back to Rusty Wrench Restorations. I'm still Steve, and I'm still working on this Cubota Cadet project. So I've procrastinated this project. You know, summertime's been here. We went on a vacation out to Tennessee. We've been doing some fun family things before my kids went back to school and college, and just really haven't had much time out here to work on anything. But today is September 1st. I realize by the time you see this video, it'll probably be at least a week or two later, but it is currently September 1st, and I decided to start making some progress on this Cubota Cadet. If you haven't seen the other videos, I'm calling it the Cubota Cadet because it has a Cubota 2-cylinder diesel engine in it, and it's a Cub Cadet, so just kind of a play on words with the two. Anyway, I've jumped back into this, trying to get this done. I've got 2 months until the Virginia Beach plow day at Bonnie Bright's farm here in Virginia Beach. And though I won't be plowing with this tractor, I do want to be able to bring it with me because they have a show section as well. So I'd like to be able to display it there while I plow with Sweaty Betty. Now, somewhere here is a Cub Cadet 72. So I've pretty much finished most of my mock-up stuff. The only thing that I hadn't taken into consideration was the fuel tank. And, well, I'm just going to have to deal with that as it comes. But as you can see here, I have exploded this thing. I wasn't going to remove the rear end section and transmission from the frame. But as you can see, there is quite the mouse dominium in there. And it's just nasty. So, as I always say, anything worth doing is worth doing twice. No, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So I went ahead and pulled the rear end and transmission from the frame so that we could properly clean and prime and paint and make it nice, because this is going to be somewhat of a show tractor, and I don't know, in my eyes you should be able to look upside down, inside out, everywhere, and everything looked pretty good. So remove that from the frame. I'm going to start wire wheeling today to get all the the mouse debris and rust and paint and everything off these components. I'll be going through getting the engine cleaned up and all of these other components. This is the lift assembly from underneath, the foot pedals, the brackets I made for the radiator, the center console, the front grille, the hood, you name it. It is all laying out here. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Nobody wants to watch a video of somebody grinding paint and rust off of metal pieces, so I won't. But just wanted to kind of give you a snapshot here of where we stood and where we were at with the project. So yeah, basically, like I said, I'm going to wire wheel this stuff down, get everything cleaned up, primed, painted, and I may do another video somewhere in there with like some assembly. I did go last week to the, I'm retired Navy senior chief. I still work for the government. I work on the Navy base here in Norfolk, Virginia. And they have an auto hobby shop on base. And those guys there are awesome. I bring all my tractor tires there. They got a tire machine there to break the beads, pull the tires off the rims, put new tires on if you want. And those guys always hook me up. We always have a fun time. Whether or not the tires are too big or too small, if it's going to work, and we always make it work. So shout out to those guys over there. I gave them some of my Rusty Wrench Restoration stickers, and hopefully they're watching. But anyway, so last week my buddy Joe and I went to the auto hobby shop on base, and we removed the old front and rear tires from this Cub Cadet. I ordered new tires online, and let's see, I think it was Friday afternoon. I ended up cleaning and priming and painting the rims. So I'm going to bring them in to have the new tires put on. They're not that hard to put on, but I really just don't want to deal with it. The back ones are pretty easy. The front ones are super small. And believe it or not, the smaller the tire, in my eyes, the harder it is to install. So I'll bring you over real quick to my truck because I get the tires and the rims in the back, and I'll just show you what they look like before they get mounted up. And then the next time you see them, hopefully they'll be mounted and on the painted frame. All right, here we go. So as you can see, got the fronts, got the rears, all painted. Got some D-stone. Let's see, what size are these? 16 by 6.5 by 8. They're the like 5 rib tires for the front. And then in the back, I got the ag tires for it. This brand's called AgStar. And these are, I think they're 6x12. Yeah, 6x12 R1. So that's the new shoes. All right, so those are the new tires going on the Cubota Cadet project. I did order some new aftermarket decals. So they look just like this, and I'm not going to put them on though. I'm going to send them to my buddy Bruce at Blue Line Graphics so that he can take some measurements and the font and everything. But down here where it says International Cub Cadet, I'm going to have him change it to International Cubota Cadet. And then on this part of the console here, it says Cub Cadet on the top. That's going to get switched to Cubota Cadet also. You know, the devil's in the details. Anybody can paint a tractor, but to take the time to have some custom decals made, I think just goes that extra mile, makes it a little bit nicer. I do have some other custom decals, 2 of them, that are going to go under the hood. They're a little bit humorous and funny. But you're just gonna have to wait to see those when they get put in. But anyway, just want to give you an update on where we were with the Cubota Cadet project. It's been literally probably a month since I've worked on this thing, and just really wanted to get it moving again so we can get it done for Bonnie Bright Plow Day. Anyway, all right, nice clip. You should see this thing kind of pretty much assembled and painted, and maybe even got the wheels on. Alright, so here's the nice clip. So the last time you saw this was on Monday, September 1st, and that day I finished going through wire wheeling, getting everything cleaned up and primed, and then I got home from work on Tuesday the 2nd, and I got a couple coats of yellow on, and today is Wednesday, September 3rd, and the paint's dry, so we're going to go ahead and pull the frame part down and bolt the frame part back to the rear end and transmission and get the front axle pinned back in. And then I'll show you, I got the tires mounted on the rims, so hopefully in this section of the video or segment of the video it'll be back to a rolling chassis again. And here's the new wheels. Like I said, I stuck with the 6x12. These are AgStar. That's the brand that I went with. I've got the Rust-Oleum almond paint, and it's the marigold for the yellow out there. And then I stuck with the same kind of turf tire for the front. These are D-Stones, and they're 16 by 6.5 by 8. So pretty cool. They came with tubes, but they're tubeless tires, so I'm not really sure why they sent tubes with them. One of these front ones had a tube in it when I took it apart. I'm assuming just because there was an issue with the tire. But anyway, that's the tires for. So let's get this. I'm gonna get the frame put together, get the tires mounted up, and give you another quick update. Bam! There it is. Got the frame, the rear end bolted back together. We got the front axle assembly back in place with a new roll pin, and she's got some new shoes on. So it's the first time, and shoot, who knows how long that this thing's actually rolled and moved on its own with a little bit of ease. So glad to get that part done. Making some progress quick this week. So yeah, started cleaning this up Monday, and here we are Wednesday, and already back to a roller. Now you will see my parts pile has diminished. I don't have much left here. So Monday, after I wire wheeled and primed on this thing for like 3 hours, I remember just how much of a pain in the butt it is to clean everything and wire wheel everything by hand. As I age, my time is becoming a little more valuable than money, and I decided to bring everything to get sandblasted. So I went to Sandblast Experts in Norfolk today, Norfolk, Virginia. My buddy Robert over there, I've used him for many years. He's done a lot of great work for me, and he always gets me a good deal. So I dropped off all the Cubota Cadet parts with his son Jared today, and they're going to try to get them done for me by Friday. So hopefully I can pick those parts up Friday, get them primed Friday, possibly painted Saturday, and start putting things together on Sunday. So things are going to start moving real quick. I do have a little more work to do on the engine here. I've got to take the fuel lines, the filter, the shutoff solenoid. I got a new belt for it. I got to take the rubber components off, clean, paint, and speaking of paint, You know, everybody always complains about how expensive John Deere is and John Deere parts. Well, let me tell you, Kubota, they really love their paint, because I bought one small spray rattle can of this blue. It's called enamel blue, and it was almost $34. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I think when I get that engine painted, I'm gonna put the spray can up on display somewhere and try to get the rest of my money's worth out of it. So anyway, still a lot to do. Things are moving quick. Try to get this project wrapped up. Got a lot of stuff coming up here in September and October. Plow days, shows, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to end this video here. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next one.